Is Terrifier 3 really the best in the series? Alright guys, so last week I saw Terrifier 3 for the first time. I had to sit on it for a little bit and really think about like what I was gonna say, because I didn't know if I wanted to do a full review or if I just wanted to hit some high points. So I do want to go over a couple things that if you're intending on watching the movie, these are some of my thoughts, some things I think you need to know before going into it. So number one is that starting in Terrifier 2 and to this movie, they are trying to build a plot with Sienna and her brother. So I would definitely watch the second movie before watching this movie. I will say the plot lines kind of fall a little short in this movie, especially when it comes to the end, but definitely know about her magic sword and her dad. So look at the second movie for that one. When I talk about the plot of this movie and when I say the plot lines kind of fall short, is that in this movie, Sienna's she's living with her aunt and her uncle, and they kind of introduce these characters and then they immediately get killed off. So you can't really have any feeling towards them because they're gone so fast. And same thing with Jonathan, is you can't have that relationship with the character because the character's gone. So it really just feels like all of these characters were introduced to be immediately killed off. And I don't know really how I feel about that. Same thing when you go talking about Art's backstory, that this is now the 4th movie that he's been in, and we have little to no backstory about what he is or where he came from. Same when you go into talking about his sidekicks, how does he control them? What's their point? Why are they there? Number 2 is that Art the Clown is a much stronger character in this movie than any of the movies he's been in so far. He has a lot more facial expressions. He's a lot more funny almost. You kind of laugh at him, but you're also really uncomfortable. Overall, I think this is the best movie for him in particular. Number 3, I loved Victoria as the sidekick. Pale Girl from the last movie was fine. She was funky and different, but Victoria as a character and the scenes that she's in just makes her so visibly uncomfortable to look at. And she's just such a good character and a good sidekick to Art because she's just as crazy, and it's perfect. And number 4, I just want to cover where I think it ranks of all the movies. And personally, I think this is my second favorite Terrifier movie ever made. I definitely think the first one is my all-time favorite, and then Terrifier 3, and then 2, and then All Hallows Eve. I love all of them. I think as a franchise, it's one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. Art is one of my favorite characters in all of horror history. So I am in no way talking bad about this movie. You should absolutely go see it. But when you line it up with the rest of them, personally, I think Terrifier 1, with it not having a plot, almost adds more to the movie because you don't have to worry about the characters and, well, what are they doing and how do they tie in with the next story? It's just a movie on its own. And then to go into this one and Terrifier 2 that do have a plot is a little bit odd, I think, for even the movie development, that you're going to start on the second movie instead of the first one. But overall, it's a pretty good plot when you put the movies together. So maybe with a little bit more polishing and development, they would have been chef's kiss perfect. And then All Hallows Eve most definitely stands by itself. It is a different form of art, shows probably the most of his powers of any of the movies. Good watch if you haven't seen it, but definitely does not tie in with the rest of the movies. I would definitely give it a watch. I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. Y'all should go see it right now. See you next time.